Beatrice Thompson, the venerable matriarch of a prominent and affluent family, departed this world on a stormy autumn night, leaving an immeasurable emptiness in the hearts of her family and the wider community of Charleston, South Carolina. The relentless rain seemed to weep in unison with those mourning the loss of such an extraordinary woman. Beatrice, revered for her unwavering strength and steadfast determination, was 82 years old. Her life story, rich with trials and triumphs, served as an inspiration to everyone fortunate enough to know her. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. As a single mother, Beatrice faced the daunting challenge of raising her first son, Lucas, alone. Born out of a fleeting relationship that ended in heartbreak, Lucas became the center of Beatrice's world. Undeterred by societal judgment and the whispers of disapproval, Beatrice worked with relentless dedication, ensuring Lucas had a life marked by dignity and opportunity. She faced every challenge with her head held high, a testament to her unyielding spirit. Years passed, and fate brought Robert Thompson, a prosperous businessman, into Beatrice's life. Captivated by her indomitable courage and resilience, Robert fell deeply in love with Beatrice. They married and were blessed with 2 more children, Peter and Sophia. Their union, built on mutual respect and admiration, endured until tragedy struck. Robert's untimely death in a car accident left Beatrice to shoulder the weight of their family's legacy alone once more. Lucas, driven by the values instilled in him by his mother, eventually left home to pursue his own dreams. Meanwhile, Peter and Sophia chose to remain close to Beatrice, basking in the luxury and comfort she provided. The years rolled on, and on another rainy day, the sorrowful news of Beatrice's passing spread quickly through the town. The community, gripped by both sorrow and curiosity, speculated on the fate of her considerable fortune. Beatrice was cherished not only for her wealth, but also for her philanthropic spirit and unbreakable resolve. The morning after her death, the family's lawyer, Mr. Armstrong, diligently began the somber task of preparing to read Beatrice's will. Ever meticulous, Beatrice had left clear instructions for her children to gather at her stately mansion, a historical gem that mirrored the grandeur of her life. Lucas, now a 45-year-old man, received the news with a heavy heart. His bond with his mother was profound, rooted in the lessons of simplicity and honesty she had imparted. She was a warrior to the very end, Lucas murmured, his voice thick with emotion as he spoke with Mr. Armstrong, his gaze fixed on an old photograph of Beatrice cradling him as a baby. In stark contrast, Peter and Sophia reacted to their mother's death with a focus on their impending inheritance. "What did she leave for us?" Sophia inquired, her eyes alight with ambition. Peter, echoing her sentiment, responded, "I hope she was fair. We deserve our share." The Thompson mansion, with its majestic columns and meticulously manicured gardens, appeared even more somber under the gray, rain-laden sky. As the light drizzle added a touch of melancholy to the scene, Beatrice's children, each bearing their unique emotional burdens, arrived at different times. The imposing estate stood as a silent witness to their varied reactions, reflecting the weight of legacy and the complexities of familial bonds. Lucas, the eldest son, arrived first. He parked his unassuming car at the mansion's grand entrance and took a deep breath, steadying himself before stepping out. Lucas had always walked a different path from his siblings. While Peter and Sophia pursued the shimmering allure of wealth, Lucas found fulfillment in simplicity and devoted his life to social causes. As he gazed at the imposing mansion, a wave of nostalgia and sorrow washed over him. "Mom, I hope you found the peace you deserved," he whispered, making his way towards the entrance with a heavy heart. Moments later, the tranquility was shattered by the roar of a sports car engine. Peter arrived, making an entrance with the unmistakable sound of affluence. He stepped out, exuding impatience and adjusting his expensive suit with practiced ease. "I hope this doesn't take long," he muttered, glancing at his wristwatch. Peter's obsession with wealth and status had always been a defining trait, and the thought of time wasted agitated him deeply. Sophia was not far behind, arriving in an equally luxurious vehicle. She emerged with a graceful elegance, but her eyes betrayed a steely ambition. "Peter, do you think Mom left us something substantial?" she inquired, approaching her brother with a calculating gaze. Peter shrugged nonchalantly. "I hope so. We deserve it after everything." Inside the mansion, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Lucas, already seated in the living room, observed his siblings with a calm yet watchful expression. He knew this gathering would not be easy. Peter and Sophia had always regarded him with disdain, considering him an outsider in the family's glittering world. Lucas Peter greeted him, his tone a mix of condescension and formality. "I see you arrived early, eager to see what you'll get." Lucas remained composed. "I'm here to honor our mother's memory," he replied resolutely. "Whatever she decided, I will accept." Sophia, her smile laced with sarcasm, added, "Always the good Samaritan, aren't you, Lucas? Let's see if your goodness gets you anywhere today." Before the situation could escalate further, Mr. Armstrong, the family lawyer, entered the room, his presence commanding immediate attention. "Good morning, everyone. I understand this is a difficult time, but we must adhere to your mother's wishes," he announced. "Please take a seat. We will begin the reading of the will." The siblings settled into the leather sofas, each harboring their own expectations and emotions. The mansion, steeped in memories, seemed to resonate with their collective breaths, reviving old grudges and rivalries. Lucas glanced around, recalling the joyous moments spent within these walls, moments now tinged with bittersweet memories. Peter and Sophia, on the other hand, saw only the potential to expand their fortunes, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. As the room filled with the weight of unspoken words and unresolved tensions, the stage was set for the final chapter of Beatrice's legacy to unfold. The reading of the will was anticipated to be a stormy affair, brimming with revelations and confrontations that could potentially alter the course of everyone's lives. In the dimly lit living room of the Grand Thompson mansion, the tension was palpable. Mr. Armstrong, the family's long-standing lawyer, adjusted his glasses with a meticulous touch and cleared his throat, preparing to address the expectant gathering. Outside, the gentle patter of rain on the windows only heightened the sense of foreboding. Seated on the luxurious leather sofas were Lucas, Peter, and Sophia, each cloaked in their own emotional armor. Lucas, outwardly serene but inwardly vigilant, contrasted sharply with Peter, whose impatience manifested in a relentless tapping of his fingers on the sofa's arm. Sophia, ever the cold strategist, wore a calculating expression that betrayed no hint of her inner thoughts. "Good morning, everyone, Mr. Armstrong began, his voice deep and reverberating with solemnity. "We are here to honor the final wishes of your mother, Beatrice Thompson. First and foremost, let me extend my heartfelt condolences on the loss of such an extraordinary woman." Lucas nodded appreciatively, while Peter and Sophia exchanged hurried, impatient glances. "Let's get to the point, Mr. Armstrong," Peter interrupted, his voice cutting through the thick silence. "What did our mother leave for us?" Mr. Armstrong shot a stern glance at Peter, momentarily pausing before he continued. "Beatrice was an astute woman who foresaw potential conflicts over her estate. Thus, she devised two unique challenges to determine the rightful heir to her fortune." "Challenges?" Sophia exclaimed, her voice dripping with incredulity. "This is ludicrous. We are her children. We should simply divide the inheritance." Peter echoed her sentiment, shaking his head in disbelief. "Exactly. This is an insult to our family." Lucas, striving to maintain his composure, intervened. "If these are our mother's wishes, we should honor them. She must have had a significant reason." Mr. Armstrong pressed on, undeterred by the interruptions. The challenges were crafted to test your intelligence and honesty. Beatrix believed that only someone possessing these virtues deserved to inherit her wealth. Peter snorted derisively, crossing his arms in defiance. This is preposterous. I'm her son. I shouldn't have to prove anything. Sophia, her voice laced with disdain, added, "And how exactly are these challenges supposed to work? What do we have to do?" Mr. Armstrong opened a sealed envelope, extracting a document with deliberate care. The first challenge, he read aloud, will take place in a series of dark rooms. Each of you must choose between 3 boxes. 2 contain venomous creatures, and 1 is empty. The first to find the empty box without being bitten wins the challenge. Peter and Sophia exchanged anxious glances, their bravado momentarily faltering, while Lucas remained contemplative. "And the second challenge?" Lucas inquired, seeking to grasp the rationale behind these tests. "The second challenge will be a mirror maze, Mr. Armstrong explained. You must navigate through it and find the exit in the shortest time possible. These challenges are designed not only to test your courage, but also your intelligence and decision-making under pressure." As the weight of their mother's will settled upon them, the siblings knew that the path ahead would be fraught with peril and profound self-discovery. Sophia rolled her eyes. "This is a waste of time, but if it's what we need to do to get the inheritance, then let's just get it over with." Peter, still indignant, muttered, "I hope this doesn't take long. I have more important things to do." Lucas, on the other hand, felt a surge of determination. He knew these challenges were more than mere tests. They were a final lesson from his mother, an opportunity to prove his worth and honor her legacy. "I'm ready," he stated firmly. "Let's begin, Mr. Armstrong nodded, pleased with Lucas's response. "Very well. Let's prepare for the first challenge. May luck be with all of you." The tension in the room escalated as the siblings rose to their feet, steeling themselves for the daunting challenges that lay ahead. Each understood that the outcome of these trials would irrevocably alter the course of their lives and the future of Beatrix's estate. Mr. Armstrong, flanked by his assistants, led Lucas, Peter, and Sophia through the mansion's shadowy corridors to a rarely visited wing where 3 ominous dark rooms awaited. The oppressive atmosphere was heightened by the relentless drumming of rain against the windows, amplifying their sense of isolation and unease. The ancient tapestries adorning the walls seemed to swallow any sound, creating an eerie, almost suffocating silence. "Each of you will enter a different room, Mr. Armstrong instructed, his flashlight casting unsettling, flickering shadows on the walls. "Allow me to reiterate the instructions for this challenge. Inside each room there are 3 boxes. 2 contain venomous creatures, and 1 is empty. Your task is to find the empty box to win this challenge." Peter, still visibly disgruntled, sneered, "This is absurd. How is choosing between boxes a test of intelligence?" Sophia, her face etched with concern, added, "And what if we get bitten? This is too dangerous." Mr. Armstrong's response was resolute. "Antidotes are prepared, and a medical team is on standby. But remember, this is a test of both courage and intelligence, just as your mother intended." Lucas, maintaining his composure, looked at his siblings and said, "Let's just do what needs to be done. Our mother had her reasons." With that, each sibling was escorted to a separate room. As Lucas stepped into his designated room, he was immediately struck by the cold, damp air. The darkness was impenetrable, rendering him nearly blind. His heart pounded in his chest as he groped around, trying to orient himself. The sense of isolation was overwhelming, the silence deafening save for the distant, almost hypnotic rhythm of the rain. Peter, in his room, found himself grappling with a surge of impatience and fear. He muttered under his breath, cursing the absurdity of the situation. His mind raced, contemplating the potential dangers lurking in the boxes before him. Sophia, meanwhile, battled with her own anxieties. Her usually calculated demeanor was shaken by the thought of encountering a venomous creature in the dark. She knew she had to remain calm and collected, but the fear was palpable. In the dim light provided by his flashlight, Mr. Armstrong watched as the siblings confronted their fears and doubts. This challenge, conceived by their late mother, was more than just a test of their wits and bravery. It was a crucible designed to reveal their true characters. As each sibling faced their own dark room, the air thick with tension, they couldn't help but reflect on their mother's intentions. Why had she chosen such perilous tests? What deeper wisdom lay behind her decision? With each step, they moved closer to the truth, and the knowledge that their lives would never be the same again loomed large in their minds. In the suffocating darkness, Lucas could barely see his own hand in front of him. Feeling around blindly, he located the 3 boxes. "Think, Lucas, think," he murmured to himself. He knew his mother would not set such a cruel challenge without a purpose. It was then that a flash of insight struck him. Meanwhile, in the adjacent room, Peter, driven by impatience, grumbled, "This is a waste of time," as he rashly opened one of the boxes. A blood-curdling scream echoed down the corridor as a scorpion's sting brought him excruciating pain. "Damn, that hurts." In the third room, Sophia was trembling with fear. "I can't do this," she whispered, but the overwhelming pressure to secure the inheritance pushed her to act. She opened a box and was immediately bitten by a snake. "Help! I've been bitten," she screamed. Lucas, hearing his siblings' agonized cries, remained composed. He approached the door to his room and, with a gentle push, discovered it was unlocked. Of course, he thought, Mom wanted us to think beyond the obvious choices. He quickly stepped out into the corridor, where Mr. Armstrong awaited. "You did it, Lucas," Mr. Armstrong said, smiling approvingly. "You passed the first challenge." Peter and Sophia, now injured, were swiftly attended to by the lawyer's assistants. Peter, his face contorted with pain, glared at Lucas. "How did you get out so quickly?" he demanded. Lucas, calm and composed, replied, "The door was never locked. Mom wanted us to think beyond the boxes." Sophia, still in shock, murmured, "This is insane. How did we not realize?" Mr. Armstrong, observing the scene, stated, "This was just the first test. Your mother wanted you to learn to look beyond appearances and use your intelligence under pressure. Let's prepare for the next challenge." The siblings, still shaken, braced themselves for what was to come, knowing the next test would be even more daunting. The mansion, with its secrets and memories, seemed to silently watch as the fate of Beatrix's estate unfolded. Mr. Armstrong announced the second challenge in a solemn tone. "Now, you will face a mirror maze. The one who finds the exit in the shortest time will be the winner of this challenge." Peter and Sophia exchanged conspiratorial glances as they approached the maze's entrance. "We need to make sure Lucas doesn't win," Peter whispered with a malicious smile. "Let's mark the correct path and alter some mirrors to confuse him." Sophia nodded, her resolve steely. "Leave it to me. We'll make it look like an accident." Lucas, unaware of the conspiracy, focused on winning the challenge fairly. "I'm ready," he said with confidence. Peter entered the maze first, moving cautiously as he discreetly marked the correct path with small scratches on the mirrors. After several minutes, he found the exit and emerged with a satisfied grin. "Good luck, Sophia," he said, winking at his sister. Sophia followed, meticulously altering mirrors to disorient Lucas. As she navigated the maze, she felt a mix of guilt and determination. Finally, it was Lucas's turn. Unaware of the traps set by his siblings, he entered the maze with a clear mind and steady heart, determined to prove himself worthy of his mother's legacy. As Lucas maneuvered through the maze, he encountered numerous altered mirrors and misleading marks. Trusting his instincts, he managed to navigate the deceptive path, all the while sensing the growing challenge. The maze's reflective surfaces distorted his surroundings, creating a disorienting labyrinth of infinite corridors and dead ends. Despite the obstacles, Lucas's determination never wavered. He knew that his mother had designed these tests not just to challenge their intelligence and courage, but to teach them a lesson about perseverance and integrity. With each step, he moved closer to the exit, driven by the belief that he could honor his mother's memory by staying true to himself. After what felt like an eternity, Lucas finally found the exit. He emerged from the maze, breathless but triumphant, his eyes meeting Mr. Armstrong's approving gaze. "Well done," Lucas the lawyer said, a hint of pride in his voice. "You have proven yourself worthy of your mother's legacy." Peter and Sophia, realizing their plan had failed, looked at Lucas with a mix of resentment and begrudging respect. The true test of their character had revealed more than just who would inherit Beatrix's fortune. It had exposed their strengths, weaknesses, and the depth of their familial bonds. As they stood together, the rain outside gradually ceased, and a sense of resolution settled over the Thompson mansion. The siblings knew that their lives had indeed been irrevocably changed, but with this transformation came the opportunity for growth, understanding, and perhaps a newfound sense of unity. Sophia entered the maze next, following the subtle marks left by Peter. As she progressed, she began to alter the position of some mirrors, creating false paths and dead ends. "This should delay him enough," she murmured, finishing the challenge in record time. Finally, it was Lucas's turn. He entered the maze with a determined heart, but soon sensed something amiss. "These mirrors, something isn't right," he thought aloud. Despite following the marks, he increasingly found himself on paths leading nowhere. Damn, this doesn't make sense. Outside, Peter and Sophia watched with satisfied smiles. "He'll never make it out," Peter said, laughing. After several failed attempts, Lucas began to feel the weight of the deceit. "This is impossible," he exclaimed, exasperated. "Someone help me. I'm stuck, Mr. Armstrong," hearing Lucas's cries, quickly activated the rescue team. "Let's get him out of there," he said, looking concerned. When Lucas was finally rescued, he was visibly shaken. "They cheated," he said, glaring directly at Peter and Sophia. "I know you did something." Peter, with a fake smile, retorted, "We don't know what you're talking about, Lucas." "Maybe you're just not as good as you think," Sophia, feigning innocence, added, "Yes, Lucas, maybe you should accept that you can't always win." Mr. Armstrong, observing the interaction, sensed something was wrong but decided to wait for the right moment to act. "Let's gather for the final announcement," he said, leading the siblings back to the meeting room. The younger siblings' cheating seemed to have worked, but the truth was yet to come. In the final meeting, the atmosphere was charged with tension. Peter and Sophia were eager to sign the documents that would make them the heirs to Beatrix's fortune. Lucas, on the other hand, was downtrodden but determined to uncover the truth. Mr. Armstrong stood at the head of the table, his face a mask of professional detachment. "Before we proceed with the final declaration, I have one last matter to address," he announced, his voice cutting through the palpable tension. He paused, allowing the silence to build before continuing. "It has come to my attention that there may have been some irregularities during the second challenge." Peter and Sophia exchanged worried glances, their confidence beginning to waver. Lucas, sensing a glimmer of hope, straightened in his chair. "I took the liberty of reviewing the footage from the maze, Mr. Armstrong said, producing a remote control and pressing a button. A large screen descended from the ceiling, and the room was filled with the silent, grainy images of the maze. The video clearly showed Peter marking the mirrors and Sophia rearranging them to create false paths. Peter's face turned pale, and Sophia's confident facade crumbled. This isn't fair," Peter stammered. "We were just trying to level the playing field." Mr. Armstrong's gaze was steely. Your mother valued honesty and integrity above all else. She devised these tests to reveal the true nature of each of you. He turned to Lucas. Lucas, you demonstrated patience, determination, and fairness. Despite the deceit, you persevered. Peter and Sophia were at a loss for words, their earlier bravado now replaced with shame and fear. Mr. Armstrong continued, according to Beatrice's wishes, the rightful heir to her estate must embody the quality she held dear. Lucas has proven himself to be the one who truly deserves her legacy. Lucas felt a surge of relief and vindication. Mr. Armstrong handed him the documents to sign, officially naming him the heir to Beatrice's fortune. Peter and Sophia, though defeated, were given a chance to redeem themselves. This isn't just about the inheritance, Mr. Armstrong concluded. It's about learning the values your mother tried to instill in you. There's still time to honor her memory by living up to those ideals. As the siblings left the meeting room, the rain outside had stopped, and a sense of clarity and renewal filled the air. Lucas, now the rightful heir, resolved to use his mother's legacy wisely, while Peter and Sophia, chastened by their experience, began to reflect on their actions and the true meaning of their mother's final lessons. Mr. Armstrong began to organize the papers on the table. All right, we are ready for the signing of the documents, he announced in a formal tone. Peter and Sophia, please step forward. Peter, with a triumphant smile, picked up the pen. Finally, all this fortune will be ours, he whispered to Sophia, who nodded with a gleam of satisfaction in her eyes. However, before Peter could sign, the door to the room burst open. A tall man with a commanding presence entered, his eyes blazing with determination. Stop immediately, he ordered, his voice echoing through the room. Everyone turned, surprised. Who are you? Asked Mr. Armstrong, confused. My name is Michael, the man replied, walking up to the table. I was a close friend of Beatrix, and she entrusted me to ensure her inheritance was distributed fairly. Peter and Sophia exchanged nervous glances. What are you doing here? Peter asked, trying to maintain his composure. Michael ignored the question and placed a laptop on the table. I have evidence that Peter and Sophia cheated in the challenges, he declared, opening the laptop and connecting it to a projector. That's ridiculous, exclaimed Sophia, trying to disguise her nervousness. You can't prove anything. Michael clicked on a video, and the images began to project on the wall. The video clearly showed Peter marking the mirrors in the maze and Sophia altering the positions of the mirrors to confuse Lucas. The voices of the siblings conspiring were audible and unmistakable. This is a setup, shouted Peter, desperate. It can't be real. Michael looked directly at Peter and Sophia. Beatrix knew you might try something dishonest. She asked me to monitor the challenges and ensure that the truth prevailed. She installed cameras in the places we would conduct the tests. Mr. Armstrong's eyes widened in realization. So, this was all premeditated. Michael nodded. Yes, Beatrix wanted to ensure that only the most deserving would inherit her estate. She anticipated that there might be attempts to undermine the integrity of her wishes. Peter and Sophia, their earlier bravado now crumbling, stood speechless. The undeniable proof of their deceit was laid bare for all to see. Mr. Armstrong turned to Lucas, who had watched the unfolding drama in stunned silence. Lucas, it seems you are the rightful heir to your mother's fortune. Your honesty and integrity have prevailed. Lucas, overwhelmed with emotion, stepped forward. I never wanted to believe my own siblings could betray me like this, he said, his voice trembling. But I will honor my mother's legacy and ensure her estate is used for the good she intended. Peter and Sophia, now exposed and humiliated, were led out of the room. Mr. Armstrong handed Lucas the documents. Sign here, Lucas, he said warmly. Your mother would be proud of you. As Lucas signed the papers, he felt a profound sense of relief and validation. Michael placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Beatrix always believed in you, Lucas. She knew you had the qualities to lead the family forward." Lucas looked at Mr. Armstrong and Michael with gratitude. "Thank you for believing in me and ensuring my mother's true wishes were honored." As the rain finally ceased outside, a sense of calm and renewal filled the mansion. Lucas knew that his journey was only beginning, but he was determined to live up to the values his mother had instilled in him. The legacy of Beatrix Thompson would be one of integrity, love, and justice, carried forward by the son who had proven himself worthy. When the truth came to light, Lucas, who had been watching in silence, finally spoke. "I knew something was wrong. You never played fair at that moment, Mr." Armstrong could hardly believe the extent of the cheating Peter and Sophia had committed against their own brother. Sophia, with a trembling voice, tried to argue, "But we also wanted to honor our mother, claim our share of the inheritance, and we know Lucas was the smartest. We wouldn't have a chance." "Honor our mother," Lucas interrupted, his voice laden with emotion. "You cheated and conspired against me. That's not honoring her memory." Mr. Armstrong nodded, agreeing with Lucas. Beatrix knew that true wealth isn't just in money but in integrity and character. She wanted the inheritance to go to someone who could continue her legacy in a fair and honest manner. Michael concluded, looking at everyone in the room. "And that person is Lucas. He has proven to be worthy of Beatrix's trust and love. The inheritance will be his as per her wishes, and I will read the will to prove her intent." The room fell silent as Peter and Sophia, speechless, finally understood the depth of their actions and their mother's true intentions. Mr. Armstrong, with a solemn air, held Beatrix's will in his hands. The room was silent, everyone anxiously awaiting the final words that would seal the fate of the inheritance. He began to read, his voice echoing through the room. "I, Beatrix, declare that my fortune should be inherited by someone honest and pure-hearted, someone who can continue my legacy with integrity and justice." Peter and Sophia, sitting side by side, exchanged nervous glances. Lucas, with a racing heart, listened attentively, feeling his mother's presence in every word. Mr. Armstrong continued, "If any of my children act dishonestly during the challenges, they will be disqualified and will not be entitled to the inheritance." Peter and Sophia's faces turned pale as the gravity of their actions sank in. Lucas, feeling vindicated, looked at them with a mixture of sadness and disappointment. He knew that their betrayal had not only cost them their share of the inheritance, but also damaged the familial bonds they once shared. Mr. Armstrong finished reading the will and turned to Lucas with a warm smile. "Lucas, you have demonstrated the qualities your mother valued most. You are the rightful heir to Beatrix's estate." As Lucas signed the documents, officially becoming the heir, he felt a profound sense of responsibility. "I will honor her memory by using this inheritance wisely," he said, his voice firm and resolute. Peter and Sophia, though defeated, began to reflect on their actions. The lessons they learned that day were harsh but necessary, and as they left the room, they carried with them a newfound understanding of their mother's true legacy. Mr. Armstrong, Michael, and Lucas remained, discussing the future and the best ways to preserve and grow Beatrix's legacy. The mansion, once filled with tension and deceit, now felt lighter, as if Beatrix's spirit was at peace, knowing her wishes had been fulfilled and her values upheld. The rain had finally stopped, and the sun began to peek through the clouds, casting a warm glow over the Thompson mansion. Lucas, now the custodian of his mother's legacy, walked to the window and looked out, feeling a sense of hope and renewal. He knew that the path ahead would not be easy, but with the integrity and wisdom his mother had instilled in him, he was ready to face the future and carry on her legacy of honesty, love, and justice. Mr. Armstrong went on, therefore, due to cheating, Peter and Sophia are disqualified. The inheritance will be granted to Lucas, who has proven himself worthy of his mother's trust and love. Lucas, with tears in his eyes, slowly stood up. I don't know what to say. Mom always taught me to be fair and honest. I promise to honor her memory and use this inheritance for noble causes, helping those who need it most. Peter, with evident anger, shouted, "This is unfair. We are her children too." Sophia, with a choked voice, tried to argue. "Lucas, please think of us." Lucas looked at his siblings, his expression firm yet filled with compassion. "I am thinking of you, but I am also thinking of what is right. Mom wanted this inheritance to be used for good, and that is what I will do." Mr. Armstrong concluded, "The decision has been made. Lucas is the sole heir to Beatrix's fortune." The room fell silent as the truth of Beatrix's words resonated in everyone's hearts. Lucas, now the legitimate heir, felt the weight of responsibility, but also the honor of continuing his mother's legacy with dignity and love. Now, in possession of his mother's inheritance, Lucas dedicated himself to transforming the fortune into a legacy of positive impact. He chose not to leave anything to his siblings, as they had shown no consideration and had resorted to cheating to try to defeat him. Instead, Lucas invested in social projects that he always believed were essential for building a fairer society. "Let's make a difference," just as Mom always wanted, he would say to his collaborators. He founded schools in needy communities, providing quality education to children who previously had no access. "Education is the key to a better future," Lucas would affirm at each inauguration, with a hopeful smile on his face. Additionally, he established free health clinics, offering essential medical care to those who could not afford it. "No one should be deprived of basic medical care," he declared while cutting the ribbon at yet another clinic. Lucas also implemented community support programs, such as professional training centers and entrepreneurship initiatives. "I want everyone to have the chance to thrive," he explained, encouraging both young and old to seek new opportunities. Years passed, and Lucas saw the fruits of his labor flourish. His initiatives brought profound changes to many lives, creating a legacy of compassion and justice that his mother would have been proud of. Meanwhile, Peter and Sophia, who had squandered their own opportunities, were facing financial difficulties. One day they decided to approach Lucas, hoping to get help. They found him at one of his newly opened schools, speaking to a group of children. When he saw his siblings, a mix of emotions washed over him. Peter, looking worn and humbled, spoke first. "Lucas, we know we wronged you. We were blinded by greed and envy. We're struggling now and could really use your help." Sophia, tears streaming down her face, added, "We're sorry, Lucas. Truly. Please, can you find it in your heart to forgive us and help us out?" Lucas stood silent for a moment, contemplating their words. He saw the genuine regret in their eyes and knew that everyone deserved a chance at redemption. "I can't undo the past," he said softly, "but I can choose to help you now. Not because you are my siblings, but because it's the right thing to do." He took a deep breath and continued, "I'll support you, but you must commit to making a change. You need to learn to live with integrity and contribute positively to society." Peter and Sophia, overwhelmed with gratitude, nodded fervently. "We will, Lucas, we promise." With that, Lucas extended his hand, symbolizing a new beginning for all of them. He provided them with the resources to get back on their feet, ensuring they had the guidance and support to avoid falling back into old habits. As they rebuilt their lives, Peter and Sophia found purpose in helping others, inspired by Lucas's example. The family, once fractured by greed and deceit, slowly began to heal through shared values of integrity and compassion. Lucas's legacy, built on the foundations his mother had instilled in him, continued to grow, touching countless lives and fostering a community bound by kindness and honesty. And in this renewed sense of unity, Lucas found the true wealth his mother had always envisioned. "Lucas, we need to talk to you," said Peter with a hesitant tone, entering his brother's office. Sophia, with eyes full of regret, added, "We are going through a tough time. Could you help us financially?" Lucas, sitting behind his desk, looked at his siblings with compassion. "I understand your situation," he began, "but giving you money won't solve the problems in the long run," Peter, frustrated, asked. "Then what do you suggest?" Lucas smiled gently. "I want to offer you a chance to work at my companies. You can learn new skills and, at the same time, earn what you need honestly." Sophia, surprised, asked, "Would you really do that for us?" "Yes," Lucas replied firmly. "I want you to learn to value your own effort and to build something significant. Mom always believed in the power of honest work, and so do I." Peter and Sophia, moved, accepted the offer. "Thank you, Lucas. We promise not to let you down," they said in unison. Lucas nodded, satisfied. "Let's start a new journey together. There is still much to do, and I want us to do it as a family." And so Peter and Sophia began working at Lucas's companies, learning the importance of integrity and effort. The family, despite past differences, found a new balance, united by Beatrice's legacy and Lucas's determination to do good. On their first day of work, Lucas greeted Peter and Sophia at the entrance of the company with a welcoming smile. "Welcome. I'm glad you decided to take this step," he said, extending his hand. Peter, still somewhat skeptical, shook his brother's hand. "Thank you, Lucas. We'll do our best," Sophia, with a look of determination, added, "Yes, we are ready to learn and change." Lucas led them through the office, introducing them to colleagues and explaining their roles. "Peter, you will start in the logistics department. It's a job that requires organization and attention to detail. Sophia, you will be in the marketing sector, where your creativity will be very useful." The first few days were challenging. Peter, accustomed to having everything handed to him, struggled to adapt to the work pace. "This is harder than I imagined," he confessed to Lucas during a coffee break. Lucas patiently replied, "I know it's tough at the beginning, Peter, but remember, honest work brings a satisfaction that easy money can never provide." Sophia, on the other hand, found a new purpose in her work. "I never thought I could enjoy creating campaigns and seeing the results so much," she said excitedly during a team meeting. Over time, Peter and Sophia began to understand the value of integrity and effort. They became more humble and dedicated, earning the respect of their colleagues. "You're doing very well," Peter praised a supervisor. "Your organization has greatly improved our workflow." Sophia, in turn, received compliments for her innovative ideas. "Your last campaign was a success, Sophia." "Congratulations," said Lucas, proud. The family, despite past differences, found a new balance. At Sunday dinners, there were now laughs and sincere conversations. "I'm proud of you," said Lucas, raising a toast. "Mom would be happy to see how we've grown together." Peter and Sophia, with eyes shining with gratitude, responded in unison, "Thank you, Lucas. You've shown us the true value of life." Lucas continued to inspire with his generosity and wisdom, and the siblings, now more humble, rebuilt their lives with dignity and mutual respect. Together, they honored Beatrix's legacy, transforming the inheritance into a symbol of unity and growth. As an elderly woman passed away, her family was thrown into turmoil during the reading of her will. Her greedy children, Peter and Sophia, were shocked to find themselves disqualified from the inheritance due to their dishonesty. Instead, their brother Lucas, who embodied the virtues of integrity and compassion, was named the rightful heir. Through challenges and revelations, Lucas proved his worth and honored his mother's legacy by dedicating the fortune to noble causes, transforming their lives and the community around them. What have you learned from this story? Share one thing you've learned and will bring into practice in your own life in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.